Okay, we're live, I think. Yes, we're live. Okay, cool. Let me just share this real quick, guys. And of course, let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. And then we will go. Okay, so I think we're good. So send this here, send this there. Okay, so yeah, what an absolute monster squeeze on Ethereum and a few of the other altcoins, which I will touch base in a few minutes. But I wanted to quickly talk about Ethereum and the current setup and what exactly is happening. And a lot of people are wondering, like, is this the run that we've been waiting for? Is this going to be alt season? And pretty much what to expect for the next few weeks. So, starting off on Ethereum, you guys know yesterday's live stream, I warned you guys around here at the 4372 region. I mentioned to you over and over that, hey, if Ethereum ends up breaking above this zone, this is now going to become the third test opportunity. Usually on a third test, we tend to see a breakout in terms of the 4-hour interval. We saw a very nice squeeze breaking into 43.72. Next take profit was 44.77. Then, of course, I also told you that, hey, if 44.77 does break, 45.40 most likely will end up playing. The reason I got to that level specifically, and I understand that we obviously destroyed that target, and before I jump ahead to that, I just wanted to quickly talk about why that target specifically was interesting to me. If you look here on the previous run-up back in around the 2021 area, you can see that Ethereum did end up seeing a squeeze all the way up into 44.77. Break above that, we saw a continuation move set going all the way up into 45.40. Then again, squeeze into 4600. We drop back down, and then we saw a new all-time high. I do think we're at the point of exhaustion, though, in terms of Ethereum, right around this wick here. You can see that this wick was a major resistance, not once, not twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times around the 46.40, 46.30 region. So that's why I'm being a little bit more cautious now. Of course, I'm not going to say, okay, guys, we're heading into all-time high straight. Again, the market has shown over and over that it really doesn't care, right? A lot of people continue to short Ethereum, even though I kept warning everyone, do not short Ethereum because, hey, I understand that, you have PTSD towards Ethereum. You can see just while we're talking, it was 46.03, now 46.15, and it's very volatile right now, right? And the reason for that is, again, we're heading into the weekly wicks. Like, ideally what you want to do in this sort of situation is just look for scalping opportunities. And you can see, look at the squeeze. Oh my god, it's still going. Every single time Ethereum breaks above the wick, and what I mean by the wick, of course, is the highest point on the chart. So you can see that was the point 46.83. You enter along. Look at it go. Oh my god, this is insane. 46.40 just hit. So that is the weekly wick as of right now, right at this region. So I'm just going to go ahead and quickly draw a line here, just so everyone can see. That was the weekly wick that I was paying attention to. Now, based on previous price analysis, again, based on previous price analysis, what happened after this was the fact that Ethereum ended up hitting this zone, correcting down, and then we saw the next leg to all-time high. The question, of course, becomes is what's for all-time high and what to expect, and that's why I wanted to do this live stream, to kind of go over the expectations for the next few days. Now, assuming that Ethereum just continues to rally, regardless whether it rallies tonight, tomorrow, whatever, I don't care. I'm not that person that's going to sit here and tell you guys, okay, guys, I think on Thursday afternoon we're going to hit all-time high. No, instead, I'm just going to tell you when the time comes to all-time high, right? So when the time comes to all-time high, we're going to be treating it like a Bitcoin all-time high trade. What that means is, you can see the all-time high aspect has happened multiple times, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around 7 wicks already at 48.65. This is not including what happened previously either, right? So just if we look at it from this perspective, you can look at Ethereum for a much larger consolidation. I know there's a ton of lines and drawings on the chart. I do apologize, but I'm trying my best here. But if we look at it from just an all-time high perspective, we know that, hey, okay, Ethereum has tested 48.65 multiple times, just from 2021. Now, the psychological standpoint with trading all-time highs is that you need to understand a few things. Number one, when all-time high happens, there is a ton of volume that comes into the market, whether it's from retail, FOMO, institutional, whatever, right? Most institutional volume has already been priced in. What I mean by that is there's already been enough buying from an institutional level at the lows of around 2,800 to 3,200. We saw a large accumulation stage for Ethereum. What's going to happen at all-time high, though, is going to be very interesting because, number one, you need to understand that it's going to be posted everywhere. Bloomberg or JP Morgan, whatever, everyone's going to be posting about Ethereum. Ethereum all-time high, Ethereum this, Ethereum that. Usually in terms of cycles, what happens is once Ethereum breaks the all-time high, that's when we really see an influx of normies and a lot of retail come into the market. And that's where we start seeing a lot of our coins go absolutely parabolic. The first time, of course, was all-time high with Bitcoin, and I explained the whole reasoning with that, and I said, look, Ethereum is very undervalued, pay attention to Ethereum. Now, Ethereum is heading near all-time highs, so what you want to do in this sort of situation is you simply just want to wait for 48.65 to break. And does this mean that, oh, Pingu, okay, well, 48.65 is all the way up here, am I going to miss all this trading? No, you're not, and let me explain why. What you do in these sort of situations, mostly when Ethereum's in this very parabolic stage, all you really do is just trade the wick breaks. Every single time Ethereum breaks the wick, you long, you long, you long. So now the next wick, of course, assuming this candle rejects, would be at 46.39. If Ethereum rejects this level, comes down, and then of course starts its corrective move, you're not looking for any longs here. Instead, you're just going to wait. If Ethereum comes down and then pushes back up, then you enter on that wick break. You scalp the range and you ride it all the way into all-time high. That's pretty much how it's supposed to be played. Of course, it's going to be a lot more volatile than that. And you can see the same thing happened down here today at 44.77. We hit 44.77. It went back down to 44.38. I waited for it to come back up. As soon as it started coming back up, I said, hey guys, if 44.77 breaks, that's when I was driving and I posted in Telegram. And I said, hey, if 44.7 breaks, most likely 45.40 does end up playing. And you can see it took out that wick completely, pushed back higher. This is free money, right? This is free money trading with the wicks in this sort of situation until all-time high happens. Once you're at all-time high, it becomes a gray area. And what I mean by that is nobody knows where exactly there's rejections, there's going to be squeezes, because it's at all-time high. There's nothing to go off that chart. You can see even in terms of Bitcoin, when we originally broke the all-time high, the squeezes got a lot larger, right? You can see every time the consolidation was done, Bitcoin would go from 109 up to 111, then go from 113 all the way up into 117, then from 117 all up to 123. You get what I'm saying? Like, it was a lot more volatile at that front. So in terms of Ethereum, right now, what's given is the fact that we have a very clean move set into 48.65. We know that's all-time high, right? So what we're going to do in this sort of situation is we're going to keep it very simple. Every time the wick breaks, we long going into all-time high. Once we're at all-time high, that's going to be a different sort of trading style, right? From all-time high break, you want to be super aggressive. And the reason why is because, again, it's a gray area. A lot of times what could happen is you see a breakout from all-time high, market goes up, then comes back down, and you don't want to be the person that longed the literal top of Ethereum. And I'm not saying that that's going to be the top. Personally, I think that we still have quite a ways to go for Ethereum because it's been lagging so hard. And now pretty much for the past few days, we've seen rallies on Ethereum, and now everyone starts believing in Ethereum. The reason why we are always early is because I give you guys a chart way ahead of time. And I say, hey, this is what's going to happen most likely if we break this level, and then we can trade according to that. Now, what does this mean for altcoins across the board, right? In terms of, I'm just going to say from a vague standpoint, no, this does not mean that your meme coin, Kamsak Inu, is going to go up to the moon. No, that's not my point of the conversation. The point of the conversation is altcoins as in majors like Cardano, XRP, Doge, Solana. What's going to happen for those kind of coins? And you can see that right now, even in terms of Cardano, we saw a 10% move set in this candle. We're starting to see squeezes across the board, including Solana as well. This is where opportunity comes from for a lot of you guys that are looking from a leverage perspective or even looking for buying opportunities. Ethereum continues to rally. Well, look at altcoins for setups just like Ethereum. The same V-shaped formations, the same exact trade right here. You can see that we did on Solana. The same trade was replicated on Cardano. The first test, the second test, third test break, right? And that's why I told you guys in Telegram so many times that, look, the next few weeks are going to be very easy to trade because everything is going to be going up with Ethereum. Everything is going to be heading into all-time highs. And this is the time in the cycle where the most money is going to be made. This is not the start of the bull run. This is not the start of anything. We've been in a bull run for a very long time now. I do think we're nearing the end of the cycle here, but this is time for you guys to lock in and really, really start paying attention to these trade setups. So even in terms of Solana, you can see just from my example from Cardano, same exact trade on Solana, which we did take 1, 2, third test break. Do you see what I'm saying? By the charts are identical. Look at the chart. 1, 2, break. Same exact chart, 1, 2, break on Solana. It was identical to that front. And that's why I told you guys, it doesn't matter if, you know, one coin, like in terms of Ethereum is rallying, the rest of the coins are not going to rally. That doesn't mean anything. Everything rallies together. Even Doge is starting to wake up now, right? And that's why is everything is going to move together here, and you just want to be on top of it. My personal opinion, guys, I do think that the most fun is about to start in terms of Ethereum, right? When we do break all-time high. I think Ethereum is one of those coins that when you do catch a trade, it is extremely profitable. And you guys saw that on the current moves that just happened. At 44.77 into the break of 45.40. Literally, it was at 45.13 when I sent the message. I kid you not, I looked away for 10 seconds, I came back and I got a notification Ethereum hit 4,600. Ethereum, when it moves, it does not care about your feelings. And now that brings me to my next point is shorting. A lot of people, for whatever reason, keep shorting Ethereum. And it makes no sense to me. It makes absolutely no sense to me because the problem is you can be that guy and have that ego and say, yeah, you know what, I'm going to try to catch the top of Ethereum, short it, this Ponzi is going to zero. But what Ethereum's been doing for the past few days is literally destroying every single short possible. You might win right here. You might win right here on consolidation stages. But when the overall trend is upwards, there's no reason to short. And right now, Ethereum is in a momentum train. And what that simply means is you do not want to be on the other side of this trade. The reason why is because the squeezes are so large. You can see from a daily perspective, we are trading above our exponential moving averages. That means that from a daily and weekly level, we are bullish. There's no reason to be shorting when you are seeing such large daily candlesticks happening across the board. Nobody knows when the corrective move is going to happen. It will happen. Not everything goes up forever. But until then, you trade with the trend. So what we're doing here, again, is just trading the wicks. Every time the wick breaks, we enter a long position. Do not try to guess and be that person that's shorting. If you did get liquidated in the past few weeks shorting Ethereum, I have zero sympathy for you. Absolutely zero. Because to this point now, we've been long for so long. And again, it makes no sense to me why someone would want to short Ethereum, mostly before all-time high. Because again, psychologically, if it hasn't even hit all-time high, what is the logic behind it? If Bitcoin's trading at 120K and Ethereum was trading at 3,700, as an example, just from a risk to reward perspective, you know that, hey, Ethereum can go up another $1,100 before things get gray area, right? And right now, that's what we're seeing. Ethereum is now playing a catch-up game. And what's going to happen after this is, again, so right now, Bitcoin leads, right? Money moves down to Ethereum, and then it's going to move down to majors, and then it's going to move down to meme coins, and then it's going to move down to NFTs, and then it's going to be the end of the cycle, and then we're going to see one big top for everything, and then everything collapses for the next 4 years, and that is the end of the show. But keep in mind, I'm actually a 10 times better trader in terms of shorts than I am a long trader. And I'm not even lying, like, because for whatever reason, I like shorting more than I like longing. So yeah, when the time comes, I will tell you guys, all right, guys, we're going to short the market. And when we do short, we're going to make even more money on the drops than we are in terms of the longs. But right now, if there's anything I learned from the last cycle was don't be that person that counter trades. And I'm speaking from experience. I was liquidated many times 4 years ago because I kept trying to short a moving train. It makes no sense. Just let it go and follow with the trend. If the moves are towards the upside, you follow with the trend. So right now, everyone on the same page, we are looking for long positions on wick breaks on Ethereum. Every time a wick breaks, we enter a long position and we're going to be riding it into all-time high. We don't know if the corrective move is going to happen, so that's why it's a patience game. We have to wait for the trade to come to us. We are not entering prematurely. This does not mean you enter here. You wait for the candle close. So in 3 hours, candle closes and you enter a long position. Whatever the wick is going to be is the trade setup for you guys. And I'll make it very simple, right? The same gaps that you're seeing right now from 43.72 into 44.77, the reason why this was such a large gap was because of the fact that there was no resistance in this area. That's why I said, yo, guys, if 43.72 breaks, 44.77 plays, and you can see it played to the exact dollar. And the reason why was I looked at the daily and weekly wicks and I said, okay, where was the rejection standpoint? What should have happened, right, from a bearish perspective? And again, I'm not saying it was a bear market, but from a corrective move, what should have happened, what happened from previous cycles, is that Ethereum hit 44.77. We saw a corrective move down to 4,200. Then we went up to 4,600, saw a corrective move down to 4,300. Then we hit all-time high. Problem right now is the market clearly doesn't give a shit, right? The market's going to continue squeezing, and I have a very strong feeling the reason why we keep squeezing is because of how many shorts continue to enter the market. These $100 trades on Ethereum that are happening right now are not simply just happening for fun. It's because there's so many shorts being laddered in and they're getting squeezed over and over and over. And that's why I keep telling you guys, don't be that person that shorts. And even from a weekly perspective, Wick, and I literally did that live with you guys, and I said, look, 46.40 in my opinion is going to be the weekly wick, and you can see just how nicely it rejected that exact level. And that was live. I just drew it live for you guys, and you can see, look at the rejection candle right here. Does that mean, okay, Pingdu, I'm going to enter a short now? No, right? That does not mean anything. It just simply means that, hey, if you're looking to take profits in some of these levels, that's the levels you want to be exiting near, or at least trying to get to if you're trading on the weekly levels. Once the weekly levels continue breaking, then you look for the next weekly, and that, ladies and gentlemen, is the all-time high trade. And I will 100% keep you guys posted on that trade setup in Telegram. Again, for those of you that are new, it is a free Telegram. I don't have courses. I don't have anything. It is absolutely free. I will link it in the chat right now for you guys, for those of you that are new. But that's pretty much the setup of what we're trying to do in terms of altcoins. And yes, I do think altcoin season is coming. I do think that there's going to be a lot of money to be made, and a lot of people are going to make a shit ton of money in general. But I would highly recommend you guys also focusing on Ethereum, the ecosystem in Ethereum. What I mean by that is NFTs. Seriously, meme coins on Ethereum and NFTs on Ethereum are going to go parabolic. And they're already going parabolic, right? We're already seeing so much money being moved. And the best part about being in these NFTs in general, or even just meme coins, is when you buy and sell, you buy and sell in Ethereum. So for me right now, you guys saw I bought 35 little pudgies. And I bought them for 1.64 and now they're 1.71. And you might be thinking like, oh, he made a 0.06 profit. It's not about that. It's about the fact that I bought them when Ethereum was also at 3,700 and now it's at 4,600. So for me to just sit on my ass and do absolutely nothing, I've made money off just Ethereum because, hey, I knew that Ethereum was going to end up squeezing anyways. I hedged myself in that front and then said, cool, I'd rather sit in NFTs on Ethereum in terms of pudgies, and again, only in terms of pudgies, because I know that A, number one, is safe, and B, if Ethereum continues to squeeze, I'm going to make money both ways. And again, same for my leverage folks, right? That's pretty much why it's the best of both worlds. You enter these leverage positions, you make so much money, and again, I told you guys this so many times, is it's very easy to do. Just wait for the trade setups, and when they happen, you'll see them work across the board. It does not matter if it's one coin specifically, as in Solana. And I showed you guys a perfect example. I didn't call Cardano right in the chat. I said, hey guys, we're looking for a Solana trade in terms of a long. But Solana and Cardano both played to the exact setup. And that's why leverage is so easy, is in current setups like this, you can make a lot more money because again, everything just follows Ethereum. Ethereum's leading, everyone's following through. But what I'm waiting for is the parabolic season. And I'll give you guys an example real quick before I end off the stream. But I'm waiting for this. Like, you guys talk about, parabolic rallies and altcoin setups and stuff. Trust me, I have been part of it. And you can see back in 2021 bull run, like from Cardano's perspective, you can see as soon as we broke the range, so right around here at 19 cents, and this is just one example. From 19 cents, Cardano went absolutely parabolic, from 19 going up all the way into the highs of $3.08. This is one of those opportunities, and I told you guys this, when the market's on easy mode, it's very easy to make money. And this is what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for parabolic runs like this. And I'm not just talking about Cardano, I'm talking about everyone, right? I'm talking about Doge hitting $1. I'm talking about Cardano, I'm not going to say XRP, but You guys know how I feel about that. But everything else in terms of Solana, Litecoin even, but there's going to be a time, and when that time comes, you're going to see rallies that don't make sense. And I promise you guys, there's going to be FOMO, there's going to be euphoria, there's going to be, I don't know what's going on, but I'm just making so much money and printing so much. That time is coming. And right now, it's a waiting game until Ethereum hits all-time high. And that time will happen. So for now, try to preserve your capital, stop gambling on meme coins, and focus on leverage. The pin message, I don't know what else to tell you guys. Seriously, like the trades today that we took were insane profits across the board, and I will continue holding your hand through this whole bull run and telling you exactly where to exit, exactly when to enter, and exactly which break and which setup is going to be the most profitable, because that's what I've done for the past few years. But seriously, guys, I don't know how else to say this. When Ethereum breaks all-time high, it's going to get absolutely monkey season, and there's going to be a lot of money on the table for us to take. So for now, I'm going to leave you with those thoughts. I'm going to let you guys do your thing. Like I said, don't overtrade, touch some grass, let Ethereum do its thing. And the reason why we trade on 4-hour intervals is because every 4 hours there's a trade setup. And again, if there's not, then cool, go to bed. There's nothing else to do. You don't need to rush these trades. So just let the market come to you. Let's see what Asia hours brings for us. And cool, if we break 46.39, I'm not going to stay on this 4-hour candle, but if it's the next 4-hour candle, wherever it ends off, then we might even get an all-time high tonight. It's not out of the question, right? It's not out of the question. I'm not going to say, okay, it can't happen. It doesn't make sense, because I just showed you Cardano. It can happen. But again, I would prefer if we saw a correction and then the next leg versus just a straight rally through. Because in my opinion, if we just see a straight rally through, we're going to see a heavier flush or a heavier correction before we see a new high. So yeah, I hope that makes sense for you guys. And that's pretty much it. And yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I will update in Asia hours. And of course, in Telegram, I'll keep you guys posted in those trades too. That Telegram channel is absolutely free again. It's just in the bio if you want to click on the video. And if not, cool. See you guys later. I will, peace out. Yeah, see ya.